Welcome to the weekly share, the Zera Shimshon, and welcome everybody back. I hope everybody's doing wonderful, and I'll try to make it through this year without coughing because I've been coughing, about 2 weeks now, but I'm doing better. Baruch Hashem. I don't have fever. There's no other crazy things. It's just this time of the year, I guess. We're gonna be. Anyway, this week's shir is Chavav Tevis, right? And Tavshin Pei Gimel, and it's almost Erev Shabbos. It's still Thursday by us, and it's Parshat Vo'era, and it's a very unique parsha because this is the parsha that everybody wants to learn before they say the Haggadah. So, see, I told you, I apologize in the Chatchila. So I'll try to do this as shortly as possible. Why did Hashem make the Bnei Israel rich with the blood and the water and the blood? It says, "V'hadaga asher b'ya'ar mesa," the fish in the river died, and Yuvash ha'ya'ar, the river became foul, and the Egyptians couldn't drink water from the river. Surprise. And not only that, but there was blood throughout the land of Egypt. Now, we're told the Bnei Israel became wealthy from the plague of the blood, since the only way an Egyptian was able to obtain water was by purchasing it from a Jew. That's what Shmais Rabbah. But what was the point of making Jews wealthy now? They were still in Egypt, right? Still in Mitzrayim. After all, Hashem's promise was that they would become rich when it was their time to leave, right? Why did the process begin now, so much in advance of their departure? The Gemara says, Rabbi Pinchas ben Chama says, poverty is worse for a person's household than 50 plagues. That's Gemara Baba Basra 116a. We know that the Egyptians were afflicted with 50 plagues, according to Rabbi Akiva, in Egypt, and that Hashem wanted the Egyptians to know that the plagues had come because they were enslaving the Bnei Yisrael. If Bnei Yisrael were stricken with terrible poverty, it would mean that they were being hit harder than the Egyptians themselves, since, as Rabbi Pinchas ben Chama says, poverty is worse than 50 plagues. Furthermore, if both Bnei Israel and the Egyptians were suffering so greatly, it would have been impossible to recognize who exactly was being punished, which would have been defeating the purpose of the plagues. Hashem therefore made Bnei Israel wealthy from the first plague by making it obvious that the plagues were a punishment for the Egyptians' terrible actions. We can also answer this question by quoting from the Zohar, which says that Eov was one of Paro's advisors. Right? We know he had 3 advisors. One was Bilam, one was the Eov, and the third was Yisro. Right? In the beginning, when Paro wanted to kill the Jewish people, Eov advised him to confiscate their money and possessions instead, and to follow that by taking control of their bodies, forcing them into hard labor. At the time, Hashem said to Eov, I will give you that very same judgment. According to this approach, Bnei Israel's sudden wealth was granted to them measure for measure. First, Hashem made them wealthy and then struck the Egyptians' bodies. And after all that, Hashem awarded Bnei Israel another round of riches to fulfill his original promise to Avraham Avinu about enriching his descendants. Now, one of the promises in the Segulas of the learning the Zera Shimshon and sharing it with other people is the promise to have Parnasa B'Revach. So there was a story of a man, and I'll just say it shortly because this is from Binyamin Pashkes. He tells the story of a man who had a business in Brooklyn, and the business was not going well. In a few weeks, he was having fewer and fewer buyers, and he was getting very desperate for some sales, and he was losing money in the business. What can he do? Now, he didn't say when this tekufa was, but anybody knows that in the corona, a lot of people lost their businesses, right? So anyway, thank God it's not that anymore. Okay, so he said he heard a while back that learning the Sefer Zera Shimshon, Zecher Tzadik Yivracha, he would be a chashivus to help him with that bracha of getting parnasa. So anyway, so I started learning. On Yom Chamishi, Parshat V'Eschana, he decided to not only learning, but to print out the Zera Shimshon. That's a newsletter, weekly newsletter goes out to different people. And he printed it out and delivered it to many different Batei Midrashos and Batei Chanisios in Borough Park and Williamsburg, in order that he would be able to increase the learning of the Zera Shimshon. He was hoping in that schus and that merit that increasing the people learning the Zera Shimshon, the Rebbeinu Shalom would have mercy on him. And it came out that Erev Shabbos, somebody came to his store from not close by, from a distance. I don't know, it didn't say how far, but he was from a distance. And he didn't even live in Brooklyn, okay? And he had concluded with him that he needed a lot of merchandise, and it would have to be ready by Monday. Okay, so that means he would have to go in the store Sunday, which he almost never did, and he rarely got any benefits from doing that anyway. Sunday was a Shachar Maises. Anyway, so after that, in the middle of the week, another guy called, believe it or not, to order another. This is even a bigger amount with a bigger profit. So he said, this is simple to me. The way these things happened, one after another, after I started learning Zera Shimshon and started distributing the Nifloi Shimshon, he was certain that it was in the schus of the holy Rabbi Shimshon Achmeni that when he was distributing his Torah, that stood for him in that time of need, and he, Baruch Hashem, had hatzlacha in his business. So may everybody this week have a bracha for parnasa, hatzlacha in their businesses and whatever they do. Not lose any money either. That's a very important thing. Okay, that's probably just as important as making money. All right, everybody have a wonderful Shabbos, and I wish you all the best. Bye.